Tuesday. Working on the 6th day of formic acid. Everything seems to be in line. They are done the pails. We only gave them like almost half a pail. I wanted to see what happened to the feed consumption during the treatment. And they had pulled completely off all the feed. In fact, they pulled right out of that top box the first few days after treatment. But they have now, well, they must have been right at it because these pails are right empty. And that's important because they need that feed. These two here received the 2 patty treatment. The rest of my yards received, well, I have 2 colonies in every yard which received 2 strips. The rest received 1 strip. They're done their circuit too. So I know you're supposed to stay out of these nests, but what I want to do is dig down into just one of these 2 strip ones and then one of the 1 strip ones, just to figure out what's going on, because the whole purpose of this little exercise is to learn this product. Not up top. Some stored syrup there. Pretty much dried out, eh?
Yeah.
Can hardly smell the formic in it. Frame the feed on the outside, which is good.
That's good too, but that's better.
Is there any open feed?
Yep.
Okay, good. So we have open feed. Let's go right into the heart. See what's in the center. Looking at capped brood, we have a little bit of either syrup or nectar stored in within the nest. Any open brood?
Eggs. So
And
she
some
is.
eggs, so she's present. We have, if we had sunshine, I could see what's down there. I'm pretty sure I see eggs there.
Yeah, there's eggs.
Let's pull a frame to see if we can find open brood. So the emerging brood. There
More
must
eggs
be.
here.
That's all eggs. Yeah, those are freshly laid eggs. That's not the frame that I want to see. Well, I do want to see, but I don't want to see.
That kind of looks empty to me.
I'm wondering if that top box is where the open brood was and maybe they just pulled back on it. Okay, let's go into one of these colonies here. These are the 2 strip colonies. Nothing in the top box. All in the bottom. Pads are dry. Can hardly smell the formic on them. They've consumed patty.
We've got a lovely cat frame here.
That is a beautiful frame. Blah.
Food.
You're backfilling that nest. So they pulled everything down into the bottom by the looks of it.
I have a drone in my bill.
That I would expect to see open brood in, not food. A little bit of food.
You see it coming up. Look at this. Oh, there's some eggs here.
Good. So she's still alive.
Not very well laid.
Can't tell. I don't have enough sunlight to see what's down there.
We've got eggs. Lots of eggs. Come on, Lily.
Proper pattern.
Yeah. Better
Good.
than the other side.
So she is alive. We are just seeing nothing but capped brood and egg so far.
There's some open brood there that's getting sealed up.
Yeah, there we go. It's beside it. Yeah, we go from mature all the way to eggs. Very stagey, if you ask me. To me, it almost seems like they've pulled back maybe more on this side.
There she is. Your finger practically pointing at her.
Oh, there she is. So the queen's alive. That's the main thing. There's lots of eggs. Looks like she's laying again. We have just a little bit of brood being capped over, but we're not seeing all stages of brood development. So if the Formic did its job, killed the mites under the cappings, then this is probably the way to go. Pulled back in some of the brood, set it back a little bit. Queen's fine. The mature brood frame's fine. They took the feed. They're eating the patty. Let's go to another yard and pull out some frames from those nests. Just finishing off the pail. Just nibbling at those patties. I can smell the Formic a lot stronger. The bees are just starting to go back up to the top box there. Let's dig down into the center of this nest. Just starting to go onto the patties.
These are a bit more pliable. That's... I believe life dangerous. Yeah.
Dead cat brood.
Yeah.
This nest is a little more stirred up.
Yeah, the way these guys are reacting, I have a feeling that they are probably...
Let's do a quick check on them.
Yeah. More dead capped.
More dead cap brood, yeah.
There's one trying to emerge. Eggs in the drone brood. thinking those are chunks of, well, dead bee that's being cleared out.
Dead larvae.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'd be mature larvae that have been killed. That's what that is, yeah.
It's a freshly emerged bee walking around.
I'm guessing queenless. That's a pretty poor looking emergency cell though.
Yeah. Might have to drop the cell into these guys.
Fix these guys up. Backfilling the brood nest.
Yeah, that's a dead egg. Okay.
There's an emergency cell there.
It's a little better, but
Yeah, this colony's
they're
gone
definitely
queenless.
queenless.
Let's go to the one beside it. Some bees starting their way back up. Some consumption of the patty.
Dead eggs.
So that colony has been compromised. We have emergency cells all over the place. Those are really funky looking emergency cells. Look at all those cells. Holy moly. This one is in. You go through and look at all these just weird looking cells. Ay. Syrup in the corners. This year did not take to the two pads at all. Dead brood. Emergency cells. Feed scattered everywhere. Just a state of stress and distress. Okay, so those two colonies have to be requeened. We're going to tear down the emergency cells because they are just pathetic emergency cells. The dead brood.
Yeah.
All over. I mean, we only got up to about 24. Look, it's all over. Backfilling the nest with feed.
I think most of these guys died as they were emerging.
Dying as they are emerged.
Either they're getting fed or...
Let's go through one more with the strip. Here's one. Let's go through this one. One strip. Just to make me feel better. They're up in the top box. You see if they are... What's up top here? Stored syrup. Now they should have brood up top. I just say stored syrup.
Yeah, Yeah, no eggs here.
No eggs. We'll go down to the bottom.
One egg.
One egg.
The drones. Oh, there's a few more here.
Oh hum, this top box should be full of brood. They're on the patties. I bet you it's not 20 degrees yet.
There's pollen. There's a bit of open feed there.
Open feed. The nests are definitely hungry. Let me see eggs. We have a little bit of open brood. We have eggs. So the one pad definitely was a lot easier on these nests. Open broods, eggs. Now the question is, did the Formic do anything other than just stress the nests and stress the beekeeper? That cap brood is in good shape. We have eggs. She's everywhere, so she's acting normal. Got some brood emerging right now. Backfilling in the nest. Okay, I think I've seen what I need to see. My assessment will come after I think about this a little bit. After a few spot checks before lunch, I decided we were going to pull the strips because we were starting to see too much queen loss. We went into the yard. I didn't video it, but there was one colony that was treated with 2 strips that, because of all the dead bees that fell down in front of the entrance, it pretty much killed the colony. And after that, I went back home and I started texting to a few beekeeper friends of mine just to get some reflection and feedback, and maybe I ranted a little bit. Took a deep breath, come back out, and decided to work through the next yard. So what my plan is to work through the yards, and any failures, just knock them down into nukes. So we did. We worked through this yard and we come across 8 problems, but 4 were not Formic related. One was going through a queen replacement, so the Formic interrupted that, so whatever, we nuked them down into 2 nukes here. This one, actually, this was a Formic issue. This was a real good laying queen. These are going to make tremendous nukes. So that's a casualty. We have a drone layer there. Drop the brood frame in and drop a cell. That's not a Formic problem. That one is a drone layer. Did the same thing, dropped the brood frame in, gathered the bees, gonna get the queen cell. That's not a Formic problem. That was a good colony that we split up into 3 nukes. This one here was a brood nest that was just kind of meh, but it killed the queen, so we nuked it out. And then those 2 on that pallet, those are 2 real good queens that got knocked off, so we made 6 real nice nukes out of them. So when I do the math, it's roughly a loss of 10% from this yard of queens that I figured should have been kept around. That's pretty much what Tom would tell you. This is with one strip, and Tom's probably banging his head against the wall right now, saying, Ian, there's so many problems with what you're doing, and Ian, why? I can just hear him. But the fact of the matter is, I'm following through, trying to learn this product, trying to gain my bearings on it, trying to figure out where my level of risk is. And it's definitely not with the 2-strip Formic. Holy man. Like, out of the 8 colonies that I did that on, 50% were queenless, and I cooked 1 colony to death because of all the death that fell down on the bottom board. But the 1-strip seems to be a lot more tolerable. We're seeing staggered development of the brood. Like in the 2-strip colonies, we're seeing outright dead, mature brood. Like, it's quite obvious. I'll never use 2 strips again. The way I'm beekeeping and such. But the 1-strip, I didn't see any brood loss. I did see, well, except for open brood. They pulled back all the open brood. Just like that. There wasn't any open brood. Maybe every once in a while we'll find a colony that maybe vented a little bit better, I'm not sure. But we've seen capped brood, we've seen eggs. And either we've seen queens or we've seen queen cells. So, this is only day 6, and I know you're supposed to wait until day 7 and not interrupt anything that's going on, but I've already pulled the pin and I'm taking my wasses. The strips I tossed into the bush, they had no smell to them anymore, so they're pretty much used up. We're only a few days away from the 2nd strip to go in, so I'll just see how much nerve I have if I'm going to follow up with that 2nd strip. I guess the idea is to let the mature brood emerge so we have all those phoretic mites, because now there is no brood to follow into cappings. This is pretty much going to be a capping free brood nest by the time day 10 hits here. So I'm going to drop that 2nd pad on and maybe I'll get a real good mite kill. Maybe that's the idea behind it all. I don't know. These colonies, they have feed, but they're hungry. So the pails are going on. And we're going to hit up the next yard to do the same thing. I've pulled the pin. We're nuking out all the problems. And then after I get through the 200 colonies that we work through, I'll assess whether or not we're going to carry on with this Formic project. But maybe it's just a case of familiarity. And like I said, there's 4 colonies here that were not Formic related that should not have been in this operation anyways. Be it drone layer or just switching out the queen.